This episode is brought to you by Amazon. Sometimes the most painful part of getting sick is the getting better part. Waiting on hold for an appointment, sitting in crowded waiting rooms, standing in line at the pharmacy, that's painful. Amazon One Medical and Amazon Pharmacy remove those painful parts of getting better with things like 24/7 virtual visits and prescriptions delivered to your door. Thanks to Amazon Pharmacy and Amazon One Medical, healthcare just got less painful.
¿Hablas español?
Sprichst du Deutsch?
Kan du norsk?
If you've heard that sound from Babbel before, I bet you do. Babbel is the science-backed language learning app that actually works. With quick 10-minute lessons handcrafted by over 200 language experts, Babbel gets you on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. With over 16 million subscriptions sold and a 20-day money-back guarantee, just start speaking another language with Babbel. Right now, up to 55% off your Babbel subscription at babbel.com/Spotify podcast. Spelled BABBEL.com/Spotify podcast. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Now tuned into the greatest.
The Run with Manny Wilson podcast.
The Run, the Manny Wilson podcast.
The best sports podcast there is.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson, all the way from Detroit to Chicago to your speakers and headphones. I appreciate you tuning in to the first interactive sports podcast. You know, a community that makes sure your voice is heard. So if you hear something you agree with, you disagree with, you like or you dislike, go ahead, shoot us a quick take, 219-413-9405. And of course, we'll play it back on our next episode. And shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this episode. Get $20 off your first ticket purchase when you use the promo code The Run Podcast. Now, this code can only be applied to first-time users on the mobile app or website. So basketball season is in full effect, and I think you would just be a fool if you didn't use the code. Save yourself $20. Anyway, look, I got somebody on here who know what they're talking about, man. I got a special guest in the building. Travis Hicks is joining me, sports reporter from Fox 47. He's here to talk football. What's going on with you, Travis?
Man, I'm happy to be back on with you. It's always a pleasure. You've been doing amazing things on this podcast. I love following The Run. In my opinion, the best sports podcast out there. And, you know, time now is the playoffs. I remember we did a few takes during the season. Now it's time when the real season begins. Yeah, this is where all the marbles count. And, man, I appreciate you for coming on, man. I'm glad I can finally bring you back on. We had a really good episode earlier in the season. Yep. Your Lions, they showed out. I think you hit everything on the money with your Lions. I would say your Bears started off strong, but I would say even though they did have that losing streak, they did look good in the season against the Packers. And, you know, some moves this offseason, you never know next year.
I say this, and I'm always Falcons first. That's true. I'd like to cheer for the hometown team. I'm not in Detroit anymore, so I don't cheer for them as much. I'm here in Chicago. I go to more Bears games than I go to any other games, unfortunately, and that's just how that's just how it goes, unfortunately. So I be wanting the Bears to be good, but I can't do it, man. I can't cheer for that. I can't really cheer for this team when they so bad. It will always be Atlanta Falcons first, but it's like I want to support as much as I can, but it's like, bro, I'm not supporting this, bro. I'm going to say this and then we're going to actually cut to what we're talking about. But I went to go watch Caleb Williams play against the Patriots, bro. And this was, man's missed so many throws. Bro missed so many throws, just overshooting it, just out of range. It was inexcusable. I was shocked by it. And at that point, I was like, yeah, the Bears have a lot of work to do. So it was wild.
No, I feel you on that.
Yeah, so anyway, look, man, the reason we're here and what we're about to jump into is because the playoffs is in. Obviously, as we know, Lions sitting there with the bye week. And we'll go to the AFC in a sec, but Lions got the bye week. And in the NFC, I don't think there's much competition for them right now. The only team I see the Lions really struggling to get past that's stopping them from going to the Super Bowl is probably the Philadelphia Eagles. So I got to ask you, what team do you think is going to be the biggest challenge for the Lions on their trip to potentially get into the Super Bowl?
Well, the Eagles are a very good team, and they just made the Super Bowl 2 seasons ago. And Saquon, as we know, had a historic season. I believe the Rams could be very scary. If they beat the Vikings, Stafford's somebody who's a demon to me. Stafford's a Hall of Famer, got a Super Bowl a few years ago, and he's somebody that will be extremely difficult to beat 3 times. We beat them last year in the postseason, then Sunday night to start the season. I think that would be very hard for him. I mean, very hard for us to beat him for a 3rd time. Plus, he got cut back. He has Puka, all these guys. Like, the Rams are starting to get healthy. That's why they won that division. So I believe them, and obviously, like you said, the Eagles. But to me, it's a lot of parity. You got the Packers, even though they finished, like, kind of weak. Jordan Love, we know how good he is. There's a really good team there. Then the Commanders with Jaden Daniels. He had an amazing season. Then we can't sleep on the Buccaneers. They also beat us. Baker Mayfield is a bad man. And I got to shout out Mike Evans, 11 straight years of 1,000 receiving yards. He's one of the Mount Rushmore to me for receivers. So it's a lot of parity. I believe the Lions will get there, but it's definitely not going to be easy.
Yeah, this is facts. I love what you said about the Rams. I feel like Rams have not been getting as much credit as they deserve. So many teams look at the record and they look at the win-loss ratio and they're like, oh, Rams really being a threat? No, that's not going to happen. But they really sleep on the fact that the Rams have an arguably Hall of Fame quarterback in Matthew Stafford. Like, people don't realize it. Like, I think a lot of people, Midwest, NFC North, especially Detroiters, people who cheer for the Lions, understand how dangerous Matthew Stafford is. Okay. Like, we've seen this man in Detroit balling year after year after year, but just losing games because they didn't have a defense or because, like, bonehead drops, just simple stuff like that, bogus calls. But now he's with the Rams, and he's got crazy amount of receivers. That offense is scary. And the only thing, like you mentioned, it's going to be tough because not only is you playing Stafford again at home, but this is the revenge tour for Stafford because he went there last year and lost against Detroit. Yeah. So he will be coming back with a vengeance there. So I really love what you said about Stafford, but I want to hear some more about this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team because Buccaneers, let's move to that matchup there because Buccaneers, they got the Commanders on the clock right now. And the Commanders, this is a team led by a young quarterback, rookie quarterback. NFL teams are still trying to figure him out. We've seen Jaden Daniels have multiple game-winning drives, one against my Falcons, one against the Philadelphia Eagles, and closed it out in overtime and looked like a straight-up pro. So when you think about the possibility of the Lions having to play Jaden Daniels, would you rather choose between the Lions and Jaden Daniels and the Commanders or the Lions and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Which team would you rather face on the clock?
I would rather play the Commanders. And to add on, when you were saying the game winners, I know this might hurt. The one he also had against Chicago, the Hail Mary, and the dude that turned his back. I'm sorry, because that was one of the best plays of the season.
That was crazy.
But I would rather play the Commanders because I believe they're inexperienced just because it's their first time in. Obviously, a great young team. Jaden Daniels has years ahead of him. I think he's going to be phenomenal. But I believe the Lions can get one over on them just because they're inexperienced, their first time back in the playoffs in a long time. The Bucs, they beat us during the season, and even though he doesn't have Chris Godwin, he still has Mike Evans, Baker Mayfield, and Baker Mayfield, to me, is one of the most underrated quarterbacks. This man is a bad man. Baker Mayfield, like, he's very underrated, but he can win games, and the Bucs still have those pieces from the 2021 Super Bowl team when they beat, the Chiefs. A few of those pieces, not the same team. So the Bucs are a team that I feel like is slept on. So I would rather play the Commanders, but I believe the Lions could beat both of them. And if we play the Commanders, I believe the Lions can win that by 10 or more. So at least by 2 scores.
Okay. But no, I love what you said there about Baker Mayfield, man. Baker Mayfield is man, he's been going crazy from his progression that we've seen in the past 3 years, from how he's executed plays, put the ball where it needs to be. I would be kind of frightened for the Lions to go against him too, because you also know he's a quarterback that's going to air it out. And I know, Lions got the secondary of Branch and Kirby, Joseph and stuff. They've been balling, both top 5 in interceptions, but let's keep it a buck. Lions secondary be getting exposed sometimes against these wide receivers and against these passing offenses. So that's where I would really be concerned from that point. And then I just want to hear who you think gonna actually win the game between the Commanders and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The game is in Tampa Bay, by the way.
Yeah. I got to go with the Bucs. I think at home, all that momentum, and Baker Mayfield has had multiple games this season with 300 passing yards and multiple touchdown passes.
This is fact.
So I got to, they're riding the momentum at home, winning that division. I think the Bucs are going to get it. They still have a pretty decent defense to me, but that offense with Baker Mayfield, and he's just also scary outside the pocket. He can throw on the run. He can also scramble. He's had a few plays where he made a defender fall, like a little bit Kyrie Irving move in the football sense. So I think the Bucs are going to win that game. So we could possibly, if that's who the Lions were to play next, that could be a rematch of last year's divisional round.
Yeah, and I think that would also be, a tough situation too, because Baker will be looking for some more revenge coming in and all of that. Yeah. But it's going to be, I'm curious to see, because I think the key matchup that will really, like the one that's most likely to actually happen is Lions-Rams or Lions-Vikings, just because of how the seeds will be. Like, because, it's they reseed and all of that. Because if the Vikings do end up winning, then they'll be 5th seed. But if Commanders win, then Lions will play the bottom seed of them. And then, God forbid, the Packers end up. Oh, my. I wouldn't even know what to think if the Packers won. I don't, I don't personally think they will have much of a shot, but let's talk about it really quick. So, Packers, they got the Eagles. Jalen Hurts, Jordan Love. Jalen Hurts, he's coming back from the whole concussion protocol. They said he's going to play. What do you think we can expect to watch between this Philadelphia Eagles and the Green Bay Packers matchup? Who do you got as a winner as well?
I got the Eagles. I got to even say, my news director at my TV station, Fox 47, who's from Green Bay, diehard Green Bay fan, is also picking the Eagles. Just because even though the Packers, were a great team, they won, 10-plus games this season, Saquon's been the best running back in the league. Even though I'm a big Jahmyr Gibbs guy, Saquon could have broke the record if he played. And that's, to me, the X factor. Because Jalen Hurts, I'm not going to say he's overrated, but he plays great with talent around him, like A.J. Brown, obviously Saquon, and he's had different, guys around him. And the Eagles, that offense, to me, led by Saquon, is just going to get so many yards on that Packers defense and also the Eagles defense. Eagles also are one of the best defensive teams in the league as far as scoring defense, allowing teams, I believe, under 20 points per game at, I believe, 17.9, if I'm not mistaken. So that's really, I think that's going to be the edge. I think the Eagles are going to win by at least 2 scores, but I will say this, because anything could happen, because it is one game. If Jordan Love can play like what he did to the Lions on Thanksgiving last year and what he did towards the end of last season, because I want to see that Jordan Love again, because he's capable of it. If he can do that, they can win, because Jordan Love has had some really bad performances along with great ones. So he has an opportunity to go on the road. And I will say this, I give him a chance to potentially do what he did last year, what he did to the Cowboys, because the Packers were a 7th seed when they beat that Cowboys team. Now, I know the Eagles are different, but I'm going to go with the Eagles to be the smart betting man. But the Packers, I believe, could make it a game if they keep it close early. If it gets to like a 21-7 after the first, it's done.
I agree with that, and that's great, man. That's an excellent point. I love what you said there. A couple things I do want to pick apart of what you said, just to get some back and forth going. But so I think it's going to come down to defense. So an underrated aspect for the Green Bay Packers, obviously we all know Jordan Love is going to have to play good. If he comes out there and he's dotting up, then the Eagles, they might be in trouble. But an underrated aspect for the Green Bay Packers is that defense as well. Like we focus so much on the offense not looking the same as last year and not being as good. Also, they got the injury with the Christian Watson too. He's not going to be playing. So that's going to be a huge blow. But that defense is still a top 5 defense in the NFC. And a lot of people like kind of absorb over that fact because it's like, oh, Jordan Love isn't doing this and the receivers going, it's so much other drama there that's taken away from what that defense is actually doing. And granted, I know Philly has an amazing defense, but the second point I wanted to touch on here was you mentioned Jalen Hurts. You won't say he's overrated, but damn it, I will say Jalen Hurts is overrated. I think Jalen Hurts, great quarterback, phenomenal dude, of course, whatever. Don't know him personal, so I ain't even gonna get into all of that. But I think he's still very much wishy-washy. When teams force Jalen Hurts to pass, that's when it becomes like, okay, can he actually keep it up? Can he make it work? Can he put the ball where it needs to be? And I love what Jalen Hurts brings to the game. I love how dynamic he is with being able to use his legs. He has a strong arm, plenty of upside in his game. No whatsoever am I saying he's like a scrub or a bum or nothing like that. I don't want anybody to get that notion. But all I'm saying here is that with Jalen Hurts, his primary job is similar to Jared Goff. His job is to not mess up when he's controlling his offense. As long as you can hand the ball to Saquon Barkley, put the ball in a slant route, give it to your guys, let them go 15, 20 yards, you will be okay. As soon as you start throwing interceptions, as soon as you start fumbling the ball, what happens? That's when you start seeing your offense crumble. That's when you start seeing the team lose. So as long as Jalen Hurts does not mess up, they're going to be golden. I think they'll be straight. Saquon Barkley will have a field day. And we'll be talking about, the Eagles, who they got next in the next round of the conference games. But, that one's going to be tough. I think I'm siding with the Eagles, too, to win this. But I love, like you said, the possibility of the Green Bay Packers actually having a fair shot of winning this game. So I think that's very unique. A couple more games too, and then we'll move on to a different conversation following like the MVP and all. But let's cruise over to the AFC. Now, I gotta ask. I'm on record saying, I've been saying this for the past few weeks, as a matter of fact. Let's go ahead and get this Chiefs three-peat over with. Like, let's just see it, bro. Like, let's see it. Let's see the Chiefs three-peat so they can go back to being like whoever. We don't care about them no more. Let's see them get the three-peat. Travis Kelce can go ahead and retire. I know they ain't got no money no more in terms of bringing people there and on contracts, all of that. Let's just see this three-peat, see the history, so all the cheating can stop, all the bad calls can stop. I don't want to see none of that stuff no more. So let's get the three-peat, witness history, and then let's call it for what it is. I want to know is, how do you feel about this potential three-peat? Granted, keep in mind, any listener out there, because you know, I know you, so any listeners out there, this is a Lions fan, so I kind of know your answer, but I'm gonna let you answer it for yourself. Lions are obviously potential Super Bowl candidates, and they may go, but I just want to know, how do you feel about the Chiefs potentially three-peating, and do you want to see them three-peat?
Manny, you make a lot of great points, but there's one big roadblock for the Chiefs, the Detroit Lions. So the Chiefs have a great chance. I'm not saying that they don't, but I truly believe, even with all the injuries the Lions have faced, I believe the Lions can go all the way in to dethrone the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. The script might have something different. I don't know what the NFL writers wrote up, but I hope the Lions can do it. And I will say, I'll go as far to say this: if the Lions win the Super Bowl, this will be one of the greatest championships in sports history, not just NFL. And the reason why I say that, I know it's a big take. The Lions have had more than 20-plus guys on IR this season, and they've gone through 29 different defensive lineups. That's one of the most in the history of the league. So all these injuries that they've faced, Hutch, who was going to be Defensive Player of the Year, broke his leg early in the year. We just got Anzalone back, and I believe Montgomery's going to play the divisional round. All these guys and more that, you know, have got hurt, and they're still here. So even with the Lions' bad defense, I believe they can beat the Chiefs. Now, I'm going to be honest. The Chiefs, they look good. Like the Chiefs, I know a lot of people are like, hey, you know, they only won by one score, Travis. They did this. And it's like, let's stop. When the Chiefs started getting healthy on Christmas Day, Mahomes was vintage Mahomes. Over 300 passing yards, 3 TDs, and they beat a really good Steelers team at that time.
This is facts.
At their place, when the Steelers have one, if not the best defense in the league with TJ Watt. So, and they're getting healthy at the right time. Hollywood Brown is back. You know, Isaiah Pacheco's back. You know, they still got D-Hop. Now you got Travis Kelce, and Xavier Worthy might be as fast as Tyreek Hill. I'm not saying he's faster, but could be as fast at the age of 21. So when I look at all those weapons and obviously that great defense, can't ignore Steve Spagnuolo, the best defensive coordinator in my opinion. The Chiefs have a very good chance. I believe the Lions are the one team that can do it if there is a team, but I will be honest, the Chiefs have a very, very good chance because I don't think nobody in the AFC is beating the Chiefs.
Oh, that's tough. I'm glad you. So, all right, we got a lot to unpack. And I promise, y'all, we're gonna try and speed it. We're gonna try and make it quick as possible to move on to the next one. But we got some stuff to unpack. So, I agree with you. This could potentially be the greatest championship run in all of sports if the Lions win, bro. Because the injuries that they had over like this season has been crazy. You would have never expected a team to have over 15 players on IR to still win 15 games. That's just unheard of, and it's magical. And I'm glad the Lions have figured out a way to still have some success, even with the third string and fourth string guys. But it's wild. It's unthinkable. It's unimaginable. So I 1,000% agree with you there. This would potentially be the greatest championship of all of sports. But the thing here is, gotta take it game by game. I think we all know how the NFL works. You know, anything can happen, but man, that's my only thing. So Hutch, I think a report recently came out and said if they even got to the Super Bowl, he wouldn't actually end up playing. Even though these were rumors and aspirations of him, you know, since probably like since he got hurt, honestly, they were saying, oh, well, he can come back to the Super Bowl if the Lions make it. Now, that's a big thing. And Hutch, we all know, is a key piece. This is a dude who got injured in week 4 or 5, and he's still leading the NFL in sacks. Like it's crazy. So I think if the Lions, they continue to get healthier, then, you know, we could see them go against the Chiefs and possibly win. But the thing that I think would really hurt them going against the Chiefs is the Chiefs have the experience, man. Super Bowl experience is a true thing. Like, and I try not to put too much emphasis on it, but every time it just proves me wrong. Like, I'm like, oh, well, maybe the underdogs can win. But it's like, nope. Chiefs been winning the last few years. But it's just like, even when I think about Pat Mahomes' first time there against Tom Brady, it was like, oh, Chiefs nice. They might get the dub this time. Nope. Tom Brady and the rest of them boys, they got it done. So it's crazy to me, and it's going to be tough, man. Anyway, second thing. Run through the AFC. You mentioned nobody in the AFC can beat the Chiefs. Really quick, we're going to run through this because we got to solve it out. So, all right, you obviously the key teams of threats for the Kansas City Chiefs, Baltimore Ravens, and Buffalo Bills. You don't think the Buffalo Bills or the Ravens could beat the Chiefs?
No, and Manny, I want to tell you why. And I do like Josh Allen, and I used to not like Lamar, but Lamar's growing on me. He's an amazing player. I think he, I know we're going to get in the MVP talk. I'll give you my opinion on that in a bit.
Right.
But Josh Allen is 4-1 versus Mahomes in the regular season, but he's 0-3 versus him in the postseason. For some reason, that's his kryptonite. I don't think he can beat Patrick Mahomes. Even I'll never forget the 2021-2022 season. Mahomes had 13 seconds. What can you possibly do in 13 seconds? And they went down and tied the game.
This is
so
fact.
Like. I don't think the Bills can do it, especially because the game will be at Arrowhead. Like, the Chiefs got the 1 seed. I believe that's really going to help them. And one thing, after last year, he went on the road to Buffalo. He went on the road to Baltimore and beat them. Now they have to go to Kansas City, and now he actually has guys around him. He's not throwing it to Kadarius Toney, who's really not a football player. I'm sorry. He's just like these guys led the league in drops last year. But I will say this, though. The Bills can make it a game because Josh Allen's having his best season of his career, and they can get the job done. But I will say this, though. What if the Bills get upset by the Broncos? I'm not saying that's going to happen, but Bo Nix, I don't know. Sometimes stranger things have happened.
Trav, come on, man. Come on, man. I can't let you get away with that. Come on, man. Come on, man. The Broncos.
I'm not saying the Broncos are going to win the game, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do because Josh Allen has choked sometimes in the postseason. He's amazing in the regular season, but I'm just saying I wouldn't be shocked because Bo Nix, he turned into a different man the second half of the season with some of the wins he was getting. I'm just saying it could possibly happen. I'm going to pick the Bills to be a safe man, but I'm saying the Broncos can make that a game.
Okay. Okay, I think they make it a game too because they got an elite defense. I'll give you that part. I'll give you that. But it ain't no way in hell I see the Broncos winning over. I can't let you slide on that. I'm sorry, bro. I can't let you get away with that one. I got to hold you accountable for that one. Okay. But I think it becomes a game for sure because the Broncos, they got such a solid defense. And the Bills, honestly, they defense, they'll let anybody and their mama put up 30-something points. So, I mean, if the Broncos can get it going on the offensive end, then, hey, then maybe we see a game that's under 45 points total. So, I can get you there. But with Lamar Jackson and the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs, all of them, you brought up a great point. They cannot beat Pat Mahomes in the postseason. They can't. I don't know what it is. I don't know why they haven't been able to, even when they were at home. Now they got to go see him on the road. Like they got to go to Arrowhead and try and beat Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, that's a difficult task. And I wouldn't put anybody up like against Pat Mahomes and choose them as a winner in Arrowhead in the playoffs. Nah, that becomes a completely different team. I'm on record saying, hey, this team usually plays to the level of their competition, but when competition is good, they step up. And this is like you said, bro, it's just different. It's different. So look, man, all right. So really quick, we're going to run through some predictions and then we'll jump into some news. We're going to make this quick too. So rest of the teams in the AFC, just give me a quick answer, straight answer. Who you got winning? So Texans, Chargers.
Texas Chargers is going to be a good one. I'm going to actually go with Herbert. I'm going to go with the Chargers. I think he gets a postseason win. CJ Stroud has been struggling. He doesn't even look like the same guy from a year ago.
Facts.
I hope he can prove me wrong because I did like him, but I got Chargers.
Yep. Okay, same. We in the same boat there. Ravens, Steelers. Who you got?
I just saw Zay Flowers is not going to play. I do think that's going to hurt Lamar, but I do think I would be an idiot to bet against Lamar. I think he's driven, and, I got to go with Lamar and Derrick Henry.
Okay, yep. They're at home, too, so I feel like they can still get the job done. Zay Flowers a huge hit, of course, but Steelers, Mike Tomlin got his 50% record or his above 500 record. He don't care about football no more. Anyway, and then you kind of mentioned it. We know who you're going with because you said it, but Buffalo Bills and the Denver Broncos, who you got?
Bills by a field goal. I think it's going to be a closer game than people think. I think it's going to come down to a game winner.
I love it. I hope you're right, because that's gonna be a hit if so. So I hope you're right. Anyway, look, man, we got some news for the run coming up, and then we're gonna jump into this MVP conversation. Travis still gonna be here with me, so go ahead. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna be right back. We got some news for the run. It's halftime.
Sergeant and Mr. Smith, you're gonna love this house.
Bunk beds in a closet?
There's no field manual for finding the right home. But when you do, USAA Homeowners Insurance can help protect it the right way. Restrictions apply.
All right, so let's get into it, man. News for the run. So let's kick it off with the NCAA, because obviously, as you know, there's a big game happening tonight and all weekend in the NCAA. So starting off with the NCAA college football right now, Orange Bowl is happening tonight between Penn State and Notre Dame. And I'm anticipating a great game. That's exactly what I'm about to watch as soon as we finish this up. But I think Notre Dame is going to win. I know both of these teams are very close in terms of skill level, but I think Notre Dame is going to have the advantage because typically they rely on running the ball. But I mean, Penn State, they have a great run defense. It's going to be a battle. I think they'll really have to show their side of throwing the ball in order to beat Penn State, and Penn State is going to have to show their offensive side and that the offense is just as good as the defense. So we'll see how it goes, but the game is happening tonight. And then from there, we'll move on to Ohio State and Texas. They'll be playing in the Cotton Bowl tomorrow, January 10th, and that's going to be a great game too. Personally, I think Texas, they might be that last SEC team to go ahead and get put out. I think Ohio State going to take it, man. You could argue that Ohio State is one of the most talented college football teams right now in all of college football. Like the individuals they have on the roster and the skill set that those guys possess, it's crazy. It is insane and it's unmatched, honestly. So I don't think Ohio State loses this game. I would be very surprised if they lose to Texas, but I mean that's exactly why these guys got to play, so we can see who comes out on top and who gets the win. But the thing between both of these games here is that the winner of the Cotton Bowl and the Orange Bowl will be going to the national championship and have an opportunity to play in the national championship. So it'll be fun, man. National championship is happening on January 20th. It's far out this year, but looking for some elite play tonight and tomorrow all weekend, really, man. We got a crazy slate of just football all weekend. Today, Cotton Bowl, or today, Orange Bowl, tomorrow, Cotton Bowl. Then Saturday, playoffs, Sunday, playoffs, Monday, playoffs. So it's about to be beautiful. Anyway, so Carson Beck is also in the news. Quarterback for Georgia, he's hitting the transfer portal, man. Right now they're saying the options that is his top choices is between Miami and Texas Tech. So I'm sure that'll change by the time you hear this. Of course, you know, things with people hitting the transfer portal is always going to be slightly different, but you really just never know. And then also to have some news in the NFL. Let's move over there and see what's going on in the NFL. So first things first, I want to give a heads up. The Baltimore Ravens, they'll be playing in the playoffs, but they won't have a full team like many people thought they would. So Ravens, they're going to be playing the Steelers, a division rival, but Zay Flowers was hurt in that last game of the season, and it's right now they're saying Zay Flowers will not return for that wild card game against the Steelers. So huge hit for the Baltimore Ravens, but I still think they go ahead and take care of business just because this team has been efficient all season, and they can still rely on Derrick Henry and the multiple other receivers that they have over there. Zay Flowers is a huge hit to that offense, though, because that's a guy you don't want to get some open space or some open field when he catches a pass. So huge blow for the Ravens, but I still think they end up beating the Steelers. And as long as Zay Flowers can come back in the playoffs, I think they'll be okay. Now the Las Vegas Raiders, they are in the news because not only did they fire Coach Antonio Pierce, but they also fired their GM. Tom Telesco. Tom Telesco, he was also fired. So they got rid of GM. They got rid of head coach. It looks like they're trying to clear house right now. And I mean, this has been a lot of changes with the Las Vegas Raiders team. And some people were saying this is unfair because Antonio Pierce was fired only after one season. He didn't have a fair shot. And I hear all of that stuff. But I mean, if it's the plan to clear house, then they trying to clear house. Everybody's got to go. It's called clear house for a reason. So, I mean, the Raiders, the past 2 years, they went from Joe Gruden. He was there in 2021. He resigned. then Josh McDaniels, who was fired in 2023, and then now with Antonio Pierce, who stepped up as the interim coach in 2024 and then finished out the 2025 season, and now they just let him go again. That is crazy because now I'm just looking at this Raiders thing, and initially when I seen the Antonio Pierce news, I'm like, okay, this does look very undesirable from an organization. Like, what is the organization doing? They're firing head coaches after having a terrible season with terrible players and terrible talent, but it's like nobody's getting a fair shot. But now that they fired the GM, it makes a little bit more sense because it seems like they're really, really trying to take a rebuild serious, and they're trying to take another step forward in terms of doing things right when they bring in a new coach and a new GM. So I'm excited to see what the Raiders continue to do in this offseason. Obviously, they're making moves right now, but I mean, it'll be cool. Raiders, hey, they're going about it the right way, clearing house and trying to start all the way over from scratch. Anyway, look, so the playoffs you can expect to watch come Saturday, January 11th. It's going to be fun, man. Actually, I think it's Friday. No, it's Saturday. I got ahead of myself. So Saturday, you can watch the Texans and the Chargers play. Also, the Ravens and the Steelers will be playing in the wild card round. And then the day after that, on the 12th of Sunday, you can expect to watch the Bills and the Broncos. I think the Bills going to win that game. Vikings and the Rams will also be playing. That'll be Monday Night Football, but Vikings-Rams is going to be a great matchup for Monday Night Football. I think the Rams actually have a fair shot of winning because they'll be at home, and man, they finally healthy. This is going to be good. This is going to be good between the Rams and the Vikings game. I can't wait to watch that game. Then you got Buccaneers and Commanders happening on Sunday as well. This is the prime time game, the only game. It's only 3 of them on Sunday, so it's gonna be a I don't want to say boring Sunday, but it's not going to be a full Sunday of football. It's toward the end of the season. This is what we grown to expect toward the end of the season. It's crazy, but that's going to be a crazy matchup too. Buccaneers and Commanders. I struggle with choosing a winner in this one because I really feel like either team has a fair shot. Whoever has the possession in the last crunch time minutes of the ball game just might end up getting it done. I trust Baker Mayfield. I trust Jaden Daniels. But I don't really trust the defense on either one of those teams. So that's going to be a crucial factor in the underrated aspect of who wins that game between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and also the Washington Commanders. But it'll be cool to see. That game will be played in Tampa Bay. So obviously they'll have the home field advantage there as well. And you got the Philadelphia Eagles and the Green Bay Packers is going to be matching up against each other here on Sunday. The Eagles, they did finally put Jalen Hurts back in from his concussion protocol. He practiced yesterday, and he's going to be practicing again today, getting ready for that Sunday game against the Packers. I think the Eagles win this game with no problem. They take care of business here. But let me just give a quick prediction of everything here. So Texans, Chargers, I'm going to go with the Chargers to win. I know it's crazy, but we're going Chargers. Ravens, Steelers, Ravens are going to win this game. Bills, Broncos, Bills are going to win this game. Rams, Vikings, let's go with the underdogs in the Los Angeles Rams. Let's do that. We're going with the Rams to win. The Buccaneers and the Commanders, I'm going to go with the Commanders to win on the road. Jaden Daniels has been on a kill spree, winning in overtime, winning in a clutch. I think he goes to Tampa Bay and he ruins all those Buccaneers fans' dreams. And then you got the Eagles and the Green Bay Packers. Packers almost got swept in their division. I have no faith in the Packers beating an elite team like the Eagles. I think the Eagles got an advantage on all sides of the ball here, whether you're talking about defense, offensive line, the secondary, anything you want. I think the Eagles got the advantage. So that's where I'm going to go with that aspect in terms of the predictions. All right, man. So look, let's get into it. I'm still here with my special guest, Travis Hicks, man, sports reporter from Fox 47. And look, man, we talked about a lot in the playoffs, but the one thing that's going to be a crucial element in the whole discussion of whoever wins the Super Bowl is the MVP conversation. So obviously we know the main 2 candidates has come down to either Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen. Jared Goff was in there. Saquon Barkley was in there. Who else they have in there? Jalen Hurts was in there for a second.
Yeah.
But let's hear, man, who you got winning MVP? Or who do you think should be MVP first? Let's start with that. Who you think should be MVP?
I'll be honest. I used to call this man a running back most of my life, and I don't know why I did. I was a big troll. I'm gonna go with Lamar Jackson.
I knew you was going there. I knew you was going there.
But he made me see the light. Last year when he won MVP, he had 24 passing touchdowns to 7 interceptions. This year, 43 total touchdowns to only 4 picks, and a few of those interceptions were bobbled. I believe Lamar has to get the MVP. I believe they're doing him a disservice if they give it to Josh Allen. I understand because Josh Allen's never won it. They don't want Mahomes or Lamar to get 3, but it's like he had the best season. This man was literally doing everything. He was unstoppable. You know, I know Derrick Henry was in talks for a while, but I think Lamar has to do it. I think he has to get it. There'll be 3 MVPs at the age 28, which would be remarkable.
Crazy. And I 1,000% agree with you. I think Lamar Jackson for sure needs this MVP. I know the whole discussion of, well, Josh Allen hasn't gotten it before. But to me, man, that's lame. That's soft, and that's not a good reason to be like, all right, let's give him the MVP. Because it pissed me off last year when Nikola Jokic didn't get the MVP because Joel Embiid was crying about it. And that was kind of a similar dynamic of like, oh, well, Joel Embiid still has never won an MVP. Nikola Jokic has 2 of them or 3 of them already. And that's just soft, man. What are we doing here is people that watch sports, play sports, compete in sports, and just competitors, bro. Like, when did it ever get to a discussion of, oh, they already have enough, the next person should win? Like, what?
Exactly.
Like, yeah, so I don't rock with that. I think Josh Allen I can accept any Josh Allen argument for MVP because he has been playing at a remarkable level. And I mean, a big point for me that I've noticed for Josh Allen, and one of the things that I think he's really, really improved on, and I think it just comes with him growing in the game and growing as a quarterback, having that experience, is his turnover ratio, man. Josh Allen has not turned the ball over like we've seen him do in the past. And that's an area where I'm like, man, this dude, you maybe should get MVP because he stepped up just that much. We've already seen him have the dynamic plays. We've seen him have the crazy throws. He can do that. Pat Mahomes can do that. Lamar Jackson can do that. We've seen all 3 of those guys have the craziest throws. So anybody who out here trying to show me plays and say, oh, well, look at this throw. That's an MVP type of throw. Chill out. We've seen Lamar Jackson do them same things. We've seen Pat Mahomes do them same things. And then, honestly, if we really want to be real about it, we've seen Aaron Rodgers and we've seen Jordan Love, CJ. We've seen a lot of people make some crazy throws. So, I don't want the MVP argument to be based on that. But initially, just watching week after week, I got to go with Lamar Jackson. I think the only thing that slowed him down in terms of momentum from the MVP conversation was that little 4-week stretch of them losing, and it was like a win-loss situation. Other losses that they had this season. Other than that, like if they would have never went through those losses, I think it's undeniable that Lamar Jackson should have won MVP.
Oh yeah, and it's just with the season he had, he's been the best player. He might be arguably the most talented ever, like at that position. I'm not saying best quarterback talent, but the fact he can run and throw, like he's already dismantle Michael Vick's record at age 28.
Crazy.
Like, this man has another at least 7-8 years, if he can stay healthy and doesn't take any big hits. So he's just so scary because he can run and he's, he has a better arm now. And I have to apologize because I did call him a running back for a long time.
I can't believe you did that, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. You was at look. So the thing too, I think. I'm not saying this is you. I think sometimes people get it confused with Lamar Jackson because there are plays that are designed runs sometimes. And I think for some people when they're watching the games or they just only may see the highlights, they think like, damn, Lamar Jackson, all they do is run. But bro, some of these play designs are just so meticulously put together and it's beautiful. Like when you look at a replay or you really go back and look at a breakdown of a specific play and you see that, oh, it was a designed run literally from the snap, then it's like, wow, that was genius. But the fact that he can get out the pocket and move like that and then also has an arm to put the ball where it needs to be accurately, like that, to me, I'm like, that's outstanding. Because to me, that set Vic apart from a lot of other players. So many people was like, oh, Vic just liked to run. He want to run. But the sleeper is Vic had an arm, man. He had a cannon on him. And a lot of people forget about that. So kind of want to just also jump back to the whole thing of like Lamar Jackson. I'm not going to list all his stats, but the one thing that people bring up is his interceptions. Obviously, 4 interceptions. I think it's 4 or 5. 4 interceptions that he has for the season. Still less than Josh Allen, by the way. But also, in these 4 interceptions, I remember vividly watching these games. There was 3 of them that were drop passes. Literally 3 of them that was drop passes. Like, people fumbled the ball and then the receiver just snagged it up. And it's like, that stuff is not on Lamar Jackson at all. So I don't even remember how that 4th one was. So there was one interception where I wasn't actually watching the game and didn't see it with my own eyes of how it happened. But I know for sure 3 out of the 4 interceptions were all literally drop passes and a wide receiver's fault that just reflects back on Lamar Jackson. So it's crazy. But I'll put it this way, man. Any chance that Saquon Barkley possibly gets the MVP?
I would have loved to see it earlier in the season, but the way Lamar, Josh Allen, all of them played, and even Goff to an extent, he won't win it, but I think they're just not going to give it to Saquon. I do believe if Saquon would have played week 17 or week 18 like the last game of the season and broke the rushing record, which he could have got it, because then that would help his argument because he broke the rushing record. Yeah,
that would have added a lot of momentum to what he's already done so far in the season. And I think you hit it right on the money, man. Early on, he had it, but just taking the last week off, which is nothing wrong with that, just personal choice, whatever, want to rest for the playoffs. I mean, I think that killed the momentum just a little bit. And I will say this too. So we talk about the MVP all the time. And one of the things I can't help but to notice is it's always quarterback for MVP. I'm on the side of saying for this MVP stuff, we need to just do a quarterback MVP and the league's MVP. Like, I think then it would be fine. I think it would be more fun because it's like it separates like how great all these other people are playing compared to just a quarterback who's on a winning team, because he's automatically going to get assumed to be such a great player in the MVP of the league. What do you think about them possibly separating a quarterback MVP and then the league's MVP, because there's always only quarterbacks who are ever considered MVP of the league?
I see your point. I think you make a great one. I just think I do agree in the fact of it just needs to be one MVP, but spread it out beside just QB, because somebody who should be in the MVP conversation if his team would have made the playoffs is Jamar Chase to me. 17 receiving touchdowns and led the league in receiving yards. He had a phenomenal season. Like, he literally put up Calvin Johnson type numbers. That's somebody, if they made the playoffs, he would have an argument for MVP. So I think they need to consider wide receivers, running backs, and also defensive players. Like, if a defensive player has like a Ray Lewis type impact on that team, then he's an MVP. Because we've seen it in the Super Bowl. Like, I remember the guy from the Seahawks, can't think of his name. He won the Super Bowl MVP when they beat the Broncos really bad 11 years ago. So I just think like they need to, like, kind of like how they do in the Super Bowl, you give it to the guy who was the best player or most valuable, for the team that game and like for the season. Because it's not just a quarterback. Like, when you made a point about the Eagles earlier about Jalen Hurts, if they made it to the Super Bowl and Jalen Hurts had a mediocre game and they won, he might get the MVP. And that's not fair to either Saquon, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, or whoever is more deserving, especially if they played a better game.
This is true, man. So, okay. Yeah, I've always just thought like that's an interesting conversation, man, because it seems to be so quick to just be like, they won 11 games. Oh, he's the MVP candidate. He's the MVP candidate. It's like, bro, you not seeing what the running back doing? You're not seeing what the wide receiver is doing? You're not seeing what the safety is doing? Like, so it's crazy to me, man. And I think about it very often, but I don't know. I think at some point, we'll probably see a change. No time soon, but I think give it enough years for players to start speaking out about it. Then we'll probably see where the NFL tries to do something to make it another MVP. But, I mean, who knows? Anyway, look, man. Hey, Travis, man, let the people know where they can find you. Socials, YouTube, all of that stuff, man. Let the people know where they can find you.
Manny, first off, thank you for having me back on. Always a pleasure to talk sports with you. You can follow me on Twitter at Travis_reporter and Instagram Travis Hicks_reporter. My YouTube is just Travis Hicks_reporter, and Facebook's just Travis Hicks. Please follow me on all social platforms. I also share Manny stuff as well. Yeah, definitely do, man. I appreciate it. And of course, bro, I appreciate you for coming on the show. Of course, man, it's always so much fun when I bring you on the show. So definitely gonna be doing that. I'm gonna keep trying to make sure we can get you on through the playoffs. And I know today just happened to be the perfect time. I didn't even know, but just so happened to be the perfect time. But
It's basketball season creeping in. Now them Pistons on a 5-game win streak now.
Yeah, we gotta talk about them.
Yeah, they on a 5-game win streak. And we gonna have to get a couple of the other people too. I feel like that would be a fun episode to have, is like have you on here, have Johnny on here, have Eric. Like, you know, I feel like it'd be fun. It'd be, I don't know how I would be able to make this happen, like, and put the clips out. I'll figure it out, I'm sure, but I just feel like it would be a fun ass episode. That'd be cool.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, I'm besides the point, man. Look, y'all go follow Travis, man. Y'all hit him up on the socials. Follow all his work. Man, you definitely got to check out his interview with Magic Johnson too. Yes, Magic Johnson, Hall of Famer. Yeah, check out his work, man. This dude, he's getting it done in every aspect, covering the news, covering sports, all of it, man. And as you can tell, very great dude, solid dude. So check out his work, follow him on the socials and all of that stuff. Other than that, man, share this with a cousin, a brother, an aunt, uncle, a niece, a nephew, a friend, coworker, anyone you know who's enjoying sports. I promise you, they will not mind. I'm gonna leave y'all with a positive note, and the positive note here is, look, man, hey, everything ain't gonna be roses all the time, but you know, as long as you keep going, you'll get there. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Interpret that however you want to receive it. We kind of had a conversation in the beginning of the episode, like similar dynamics. So that conversation made me think of that positive note. So y'all interpret that however you want to interpret it. Anyway, look, man, that's all I got for y'all. Enjoy the weekend, because it's gonna be the weekend by the time some of y'all hear this. And other than that, hey, that's all I got, man. I'll be back later on next week, and so on and so on and so on. That was real fun. Yeah, that was super cool, man. Super cool. Yeah, I can't wait. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say thank you for having
Recording
me on, man.
stopped.
And when you because I know you tagged me on Instagram, we make it like a combined post. When you do that, I'll do the same thing and share it. And,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I gotta get this mug out. I get it edited. The audio will be edited. That's gonna post tonight. I'm gonna most likely post the audio tonight. I know the Penn State game and stuff is happening tonight, but yeah, I think I'll still post the audio tonight. And then as far as like the clips and stuff, I'm gonna just try and get that shit out as soon as possible.
I feel like
I'm gonna just try and get the clips and stuff out as soon as possible. Yeah, man. I don't know if I told you either. I'll let you go in a sec too, but
what is it?
I don't know if I told you. I got a partnership with Clutch Points.
Congrats, bro.
Thank you, man. Thank you. But the cool thing about it is I've been trying to get like editing help and stuff too. So like finally can get, you know, videos out quicker, get clips and stuff out quicker. But it's just like early on in the process. So I'm trying to just get on the same page with everybody and stuff. So but yeah, that's a thing now finally.
Hey, dude, so could you get like money off of it?
Yeah, they trying to give me advertisers and stuff, but they taking forever with that shit too. So I'm about to take matters into my own hands. Like y'all moving a little too slow.
So what do they do for you, Clutch Points, or what are they gonna do?
So they put the pod on their website too. So it's still on like Spotify and all of that. But the pod is also on their podcast page.
Nice.
So it's up there on the website. One of the other things is like bringing in advertisers and stuff. Like that's an aspect they got to do that we talked about. And then social media. So they're supposed to be getting up one of the clips each week on one of the social medias, whether it's like Instagram, TikTok, like whichever one. Just at least
That's
one
what's
vid
up,
on there. So yeah, just trying to like work out all the crinkles, and then also too, like I said, the support with the editing and like graphic design and all of that type of stuff. So yeah, been trying to just get that together and get everything organized. They move real slow. Ooh, they move almost too damn slow for me. So I be trying to be patient, but yeah, man, it's been cool so far though. I will say,
how'd you get that connect?
Shit, just reaching out.
That's what's up. That's what's up, bro. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, bro. It came from just reaching out, man, and I reached out to like somebody in partnerships. I was like stalking him on LinkedIn and like fucking found his email. Just like literally just shooting up half-court shots, bro. Just launching them hoes from half-court. I tried FanDuel. Man, I tried FanDuel. I tried, like, Barstool. I was hitting everybody up, like, multiple times. FanDuel, I did get a chance to talk to them. It was cool. The guy I spoke to was cool, but he ended up just was like, we ain't really got much for you. Like, just genuinely speaking, like, it just ain't the direction. Like, I talked to other people. He was like, it ain't the direction we want to go right now. So I'm like, oh, cool. I respect it. But I was just happy the fact that he even, hopped on a call with me and was trying, like, at least trying to hear me out. So, shit, man. Yeah, so dude hit me back and we was talking, bro. This whole process probably took from like the middle of March last year all the way up into like November or October.
Damn.
It was probably even longer than that, bro, because it was just it was just like, all right, we're gonna set up a call, we're gonna jump on the call. Oh, wait, we gotta reschedule the call. This came and it's like, damn. And then he's like, okay, yeah, I like the idea. We gotta do another call with such. He's gonna come on and we'll talk. And I was like, damn, bro, like, do you want it? Like, you want to pot it out? So it was, yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, right. That finally happened, man. I'm just trying to get some fucking money though, bro. Like,
no, I feel you, bro. I just recently went on a visit. Rob actually was one of my references for it. It was a visit to Kalamazoo, actually near the school you went to, Channel 3.
Channel 3, yeah, I'm familiar.
They reached out to me a year ago, their news director, and I was under contract. I still am, but like I couldn't really do nothing at that point because I had so long left. Mm-hmm. And she just like kept following me on LinkedIn, and she was like, I don't know what your next move is, but I would love to have you here. And she was like talking about anchoring. So I was like, shit, I'll go on the visit. And I don't know why they rank it like this, but Kalamazoo, that Grand Rapids area, is market 41 in the country. Like, it's actually a big
so that's
market.
A big market.
Yeah, like Kalamazoo is like with Grand Rapids, so it's 41 in Detroit. I think it's 14. Chicago's actually 3 in the country. Yeah. So because they rank it by, I was like, whoa, like, I didn't even know it was that big. So I met with her on Monday. They showed me the station. And it's definitely intriguing because even though I don't really want to do news as much, like I would be less overwhelmed because they would give me a photographer full time because I do everything on my own right now. What you see me, the magic, all that was just all me. Yeah. But like I would have someone who would edit my stuff for me. Like, so that's why I'm hoping we can work out the money. I'm gonna go because all I have to worry about is writing and getting on camera. Yeah. So that's all I want to do because I'm not really the best editor. If I could have somebody do it with me, that's I don't even mind tagging their page saying, hey, he edited this video to give a courtesy. So. Shit, like, I'm hoping it can work out.
So you said this is Monday where you talked
to me? I went on, so I actually went in person on Monday. We had been doing phone calls over a while. Then I drove there from Oak Park. It was about 2 hours from Metro Detroit, not a bad drive. Yeah. And, it was nice. Like I like the area and like it's something I could see myself doing for a year or two, then I could probably get to a really big market from there because that's market 41, which threw me out the window. When they told me that, I had to like Google it for myself, but they weren't lying.
Yeah, that shit is crazy, bro. You definitely, if you get that opportunity, bro, I say take advantage of it. And it's like, fuck. Granted, I know it's not sports, but it's like, how long do the contracts be? Like when you?
So right now, the one I'm about to end is 2 years, and if I go to KZoo, I would sign a 1 or 2 year. Oh, because I turned 27 on Sunday, and I would like if things go right and I go to KZoo in May, I would like to leave there no later than when I'm 29. So then I'm still at a point where I could like really, because if I got to like my late 30s, I might just stay somewhere just because like age. Yeah. But at 29, I feel like I could really go to a big market.
Yeah, you could move from there to another market.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, you should. Yeah, I definitely say you should do that. And especially if you can do a 1 year deal, if that's an option, like I think that's dope too. But no, Kalamazoo, I mean, it's definitely a dope spot. And it is kind of like a big city. I get not as big as like Detroit, but in Michigan, it is on the west side of the state. That's like a, kind of a bigger city. So definitely, man, that's dope.
I appreciate you, man. When she reached out, I told her, it's something I want to do. So I was asking about apartments, and the fact what really attracts me is just like having a bigger team. I'm not as not the work won't be easier, but I won't be as overwhelmed. Like working with editors, like these people looked at me like I was crazy when I told them I edit my own thing. They're like, you don't have an editor? It's like, no, I do everything and they were like, when they looked at my stuff, they're like, Magic, all these other things. They're like, you did it. I was like, everything you've seen me do, I've shot on my own. Like I only maybe 17 stories out of 300 I've had a photographer because we have 2 photographers at the station, so they have to be, with different people. And their schedules are hell because one is 3 a.m. to 11 a.m. The other one is 3 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Damn.
So I only work 9, I'm dayside, I'm 9 to 4:30. So like, I barely see either of them.
Man, damn. Yeah, bro. I mean, the resources, I feel like the resources would just like already help you like just be able to do so much more because you can like do it, dish it off to the resources, and then do something else, dish it off. And it's like, it's going to just make more projects for you and stuff too. But it's like also in a way less work or just more work of what you really want to do, So it's like, I already, but shit, I know all too well about that doing it yourself shit, bro. That shit is not, it get real old. You be like, dog. Yeah, it get real old. Bro. Yeah, that shit's crazy, man. But no, that's so dope, man. Yeah, I definitely say
you, man.
Take advantage.
I'm still looking for sports too, so I'm gonna like keep because it's not done till April, so we'll see.
Yeah, no, I get that. Hopefully some sports come along too, though. Because I've been trying to get in that same. I've been trying to just get on the radio again, bro. Like, and not.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, have you applied for any sports jobs?
So the last one, the only ones I've applied for, it was actually a recent one. I need to check and see if they even messaged me back. But it was like a anchor for LSU. It was a remote position. It was like LSU game day anchor or something like that. And it is remote, but I don't even know what they didn't put their pay on there. So it's just like, you know how they be doing sometimes. So I don't really know about that, but that was one of the most recent ones. And then there's been a couple others I've applied for that's like editing roles of like whether it's podcasts or whether it's sports radio or mainly been sports podcasts when it comes to editing, because only sports one that I've really seen out here was with 670 to score. And I worked with the news company of Odyssey, but 670 to score still with Odyssey. And I really don't want to fucking edit for anybody, bro. I fucking hate editing. But it's just like, the steps. You know how it is. You just like take the steps. So I've been trying to just do that, but that's also why I'm like, bro, I got to get advertisers, more and more advertisers, because I'm like, if I could do this as like my day job even if I could just do this as a day job and then still work at the gym, like I would be content. Like I would be fine with that. But it's just, yeah, bro, I gotta get the bread. I gotta get some bread.
I feel you.
Yeah, I gotta get some bread because, I've applied to so many, like even other jobs too, that's just offering money, like whether it's like marketing or social media.
Oh no, I feel you, bro. Like it's honestly tough to like get like positions unless like I wanted to actually ask you before I let you go. I'm sure you heard about it because it's been big news. Like Skip Joy Taylor, that lawsuit. Like and it's crazy. I'm just gonna bring up Joy Taylor. Like sleeping your way to the top. It's like taking away from people like.
Motherfuckers who really working hard, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's already former athletes in the way of us males that just get those jobs because they're a former athlete. Then you got the Doris Burks of the world who actually went to school and got journalism. Then Joy Taylor, I was just like, that was just disheartening. Then Skip, like 1.5 for some cat. I was like, bro, that's crazy.
Like, motherfucker, Skip talking about, I got 1.5 for you. Would you try? Skip crazy as hell for that.
So I want to ask Rob if that's true, but Rob probably won't want to talk about it because I know he fucks with Skip.
Yeah, that's his man's. If I see him in person, I ask him. I'm sure he'll probably tell us though.
Yeah. Are
you? That's another thing I was going to ask. You going to the NABJ next year? I think it's in Cleveland.
I should. I kept saying I wasn't going to go this year to focus on what I was going to do next after because I knew my contract was up in April, but I feel like I should. To be honest, because it was so fun, like with you, Johnny, everybody.
Yeah, same.
And it's a great networking opportunity too.
It is.
I don't know. I wasn't too excited about Cleveland because I don't know what I'm going to do in Cleveland. But I was like, you know what? I think I'm probably going to try to go. Are you?
I'm in the same boat. I'm like, I want to, but I'm also like not sure because I'm like, yeah, I just don't know. There's other trips too that me and my girl's been planning, and
I feel that.
Yeah. Also, I just think about it like the financial aspect. I'm like, if I get my bread up, maybe. But I'm like, right now, I'm like in the middle right now where I'm like, I could either really push for it, but also it's like, maybe this will be my 1 year off. And then wherever it is, I go to the next one.
That's what I was thinking about, potentially 1 year off, then going like next year to like Atlanta, like the ones where it's going to be at next, because those are going to be some nice spots.
That's going to be crazy. Yeah, the one in Atlanta going to be crazy for sure. Oh, yeah. I already know that one going to be fun. But yeah, I don't know. I've been trying to think about it and trying to figure it out. But
if you, Johnny, I'm going to ask Johnny too and talk to Eric. If we all go, then like I would like be down. But if people don't or on the fence, that I might, because I don't want to like just go alone. Like
same, man. Me neither. And that shit is expensive when you paying like for a solo hotel, bro. Because I'm like, if y'all going, we could at least split it. Like,
we could get an Airbnb low key if we all went. That could be cheaper.
Yeah, I'm content with that, bro. I would be very much content with like, hey, all right, Johnny going, you going, and Eric going. Like, bet, let's just all split up on an Airbnb. Like, I would be content with that, because it's gonna be a little bit less. But yeah, we got to see what they doing too.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask Johnny and also Devon too to see if he's going.
Yeah. I know Rob told me, he was like, I don't know how serious. I asked him, I was like, Rob, like, really? Or like, are you just saying it? He was like, 2025 NABJ is going to be a can't miss NABJ. He was like, I'm telling you. I know it's Cleveland, but he was like, it's going to be a can't miss NABJ. I'm like, Rob, really?
Can't miss, it's Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm like, really, bro? Like, are you saying this? Because, like, what information do you know? He was like, I can't say anything else, but it's gonna be a can't miss NABJ. I'm like, Rob, you a heavy advocate, boy. You doing your job as an advocate for NABJ.
I'll be real. I love Rob. Like, that's my guy. But last year in Chicago, me and you went to First Take. Like, what else can they do?
I don't know what else they could do. I mean, what, you gonna bring Fox Sports?
That's what I'm saying. Like we saw, like me and you were up close, and when we watched Stephen A. speak, like Molly, like I don't, especially from a sports aspect, like we saw the biggest sports name in one of the biggest cities in Chicago. So I don't know what Cleveland
can do to outdo that. I don't know what they can do to outdo ESPN.
Because like, to me, it's like, what? Like, there might be other personalities bigger than Stephen A., but like, are they black? They're like a Pat McAfee. He's a big name, but he's not. What is he going to say in front of black journalists?
I mean, also too, he also in that category of former athlete.
Yeah, he's not even really a journalist.
So it's like it's a fine line between that, but that's wild, man. I don't know. I'll see though. I'll keep you updated on that, and then
I'll let you know too what I do.
For sure. Yeah, definitely do, man. If you're out in KZoo, like, that'd be dope. And, if you find something, of course, then, that's dope. But, of course, NABJ, too. If you end up going, then, let me know. And I'll probably end up trying to go, too, from there.
But
that shit crazy. We met at NABJ.
That is true. We did meet at NABJ.
Emma on that bus to Rickwood.
In Birmingham, we did.
Shit crazy, bro. That's crazy. It's so crazy, bro. Crazy how that works. So,
hey man, I'm glad I met you guys. Like, everybody of Rob's mentees, like it's like a brotherhood. So like, and that's what's up.
Yeah, and everybody work hard too, bro. Like, everybody been killing it, man. Johnny be doing his thing. You be doing your thing. Eric be doing his thing. Like, man, everybody I met through Rob, like, be hard work. And it's like, I just respect the shit out of all of that, bro. Because it's like, I mean, shit, we both know it's not easy. So when I see somebody else on that same journey, it's just like, salute, bro. Like,
same.
Yeah, but
you guys are my guys, man.
Yeah, same, man, same. I rock with y'all boys heavy. So,
all right, man. I don't want to take too much of your time. About to hang with some family, but thank you again, man, having me on the pod. I look forward to seeing the clips.
For sure, yeah, man. I get it. I send it over to you and stuff. I just keep you updated on all the pod stuff, full episode and everything. So I'll be letting you know, bro. But I ain't gonna keep you longer either. Be easy, bro, and we'll be in touch.
All right. Peace.
Yeah.